What's up, guys? Barry Fast Cars is the channel. Barry's the guy talking about cars. You might have noticed by the title and by the picture right here, which I'm going to zoom in on in a minute. I'm talking about the Aston DB11, the Aston Martin DB11. It was just unveiled at Geneva, which as of now was last week. Who knows when it was for when you watch this, but it's a big deal for Aston. It's definitely a big deal for Aston Martin. So we're gonna kind of delve into it a little bit, not too in depth, but try to break it down a little bit for you guys and give you my opinions on certain things, maybe a little bit on the Aston brand and some things I like, some things I don't like about the car. Design I love, and we'll talk about that. So I'm gonna zoom in the camera and I'm gonna edit this part out. So. It works, right? Oh. All right. So here's the Aston Martin. You see it? See my cursor? All right, so we have, just a somewhat evolutionary, but a little bit of revolution in here, which is pretty cool. You can't go wrong with a little, mixing it up a little bit. Probably one of the most revolutionary things, if you can see my cursor at all. I'm using my touchpad for some stupid reason. I need to get a mouse out here. Is, I don't know what their design terminology is, but the A-pillar to B-pillar swoopy deal on the side here, swing, swing, right along this area. I guess I can just point at the camera, or the screen. Why not? So this area right here, definitely the contrasting roof is the biggest departure. We have classic Aston Martin grille. These new shaped headlights, a little bit longer, coming up on the fender a bit more than before. I should have probably saved a few pictures of a DB9 to compare to. Maybe I'll pop it in here. And you still have the integrated door handles. We have this gorgeous, fully functional side air extractor, which we'll get to another picture of close up in a minute. We got the blacked out mirrors, and we got these cool little features that they put on here, like the blacked out base of the A-pillar and the blacked out base of the C-pillar, I suppose it would be, because there really is no B-pillar. It's a B-pillarless design. I love this gigantic, clean lower intake here. This car has a brand new engine. Aston just kind of threw everyone for a loop. Maybe not me so much, but we won't get into that. They designed their own engine for this car, so that's a big deal. They have their own in-house design. I didn't read anything about them getting help from, like Cosworth or whoever, but sounds like it's all in-house, so that's rad. We have anything else I need to point out? I should go to the next picture, shouldn't I? Well, the biggest thing that I'll just point out real quick, this is the hood shut line right here. This is the only line for the hood shut line. And I hate hood shut lines on cars these days. So this is huge for me. It's literally this entire clamshell tips forward like such. I don't think I saved a picture of that. But hood shut line here, and there. So clean, so fresh. Rear view, good. God. Large diffuser-esque design. It still has a functional diffuser down here. But the whole contrast rear bumper just, it slims it out a bit, which is really nice. You can't tell so much in this picture, but this whole area here kind of juts out from the taillights. These are not all on one plane. So the top of the taillight actually sinks further back into the car. We have the third brake light up here. We technically have, I'll get my hand off the screen. We technically have some active aerodynamics going on. There is a tiny lip spoiler that comes up here at who knows what speed. I don't know exactly what its exact purpose is. Obviously it's for downforce, but when it's necessary, we still don't know exactly. But you can see how wide the C-pillar contrast roof rail deals are. I need to see the car in person to see what this looks like in this area, what the 3D effect going on the rear haunches is. That you might be able to see in the picture a little bit. But there's like a little lip right here where the taillight ends. Love the taillights, perfect design. I wouldn't mind seeing what it looked like without this section, you know, like just eliminate that. I think the added width from those looks pretty spot on. We have dual exhaust, which is funny because if anyone could get quad exhaust legal, you know, we wouldn't give them shit for quad exhaust. It'd be an Aston Martin with its twin turbo V12, but they stick with the incredibly functional dual exhaust. Probably saves a bit of weight as well. You can see a bit more of the mirror design here, fairly gorgeous. Not a bad, I mean, there's worse size rear windows, that's for sure. You get a bit of visibility out that. Now let's see what the next picture holds. The rear 3/4 view, woo! So there you get the real effect of that contrasting pillar there. Looks fantastic. My biggest issue with it is you only have two choices of color. I was gonna open up the configurator and show you guys this. We'll see if I can do that in the future and show you that you can't actually make it body color, because I think this would look so good as with a white car, just to show the contrasting elements, like the blacked out sections here and whatnot. With a blacked out roof, white car, white pillars, the blacked out section down here. I think it looks so good. You could even do the black wheels. The black and white theme I'm a huge fan of, but we'll see. They might, I guarantee Aston Martin would paint it whatever color you want if you paid them enough. Let's put it that way. You can get a bit of the effect, at least from my view, I don't know if you guys can looking at this, of how the bodywork kind of comes through the taillights here. Like, it literally comes out from the taillights. It's pretty cool. Nice 3D effect. The beautiful side angle. If anyone saw the leaked photos a few weeks before it was actually unveiled, it was obviously when they were doing this photo shoot, because the car looks identical, the scenery looks identical. Come on. How someone couldn't like this is beyond me. This outline for the window is just impeccable. Great visibility it looks like. I mean, the visibility factor looks fantastic. Ginormous brakes. This picture makes the car look lower, like the wheel well gap, than at Geneva. I don't know if this car has a lift function. That lip is pretty low, so it's quite possible. The car at Geneva might have had its ride height up a little bit, which made it look a little almost DBX concept-y. But in this photo, who knows, maybe it's just bounding along and the compression just lowered the car when this picture was taken, but we'll see. I mean, most of these pictures are making it look a bit lower than the Geneva photos did. That's just a beautiful picture. I just kind of had to put that in there. It's similar to what you've seen already. Alright, some interior action. Acres of leather. I don't like leather. I'm vegan. Have at me. Non-vegans, whatever. I think it's cheating. I think you can make an absolutely impeccable, durable, gorgeous looking, smelling environment without dead animal skin. Painted different colors. Or whatever, tan different colors. But design-wise, sure, it's fucking gorgeous. Look at this detailing on the seats. You can't tell too much on the video. I mean, sooner or later I'm going to figure out how to just put pictures in and talk over it, record my screen. But this is what I'm doing for now, so bear with me, okay, peeps? If I'm not mistaken, this armrest is electronic. It just like moves back, if I recall from a video. We do have the tiny vestiges of Daimler's 5% stake in Aston Martin, which is obviously a godsend that Daimler did that. Thank you, Daimler. I hope it doesn't go any further than this, and we'll get to that in a moment. I hope they just do, they're doing like wiring looms and, pretty much all of these behind the scenes electronics are Daimler based, or Daimler, they came from Daimler. Nice screen up here, probably fantastic resolution, who knows. Still have the, I guess we moved the cockpit view. Yeah, perfect. You can see that detailing on the seats again. Really clean, you know, whatever you call that section, the dash. I might not have the perfect terminology, but whatever. Gorgeous steering wheel. This like detailing on the, you can't see it, and just go on a website and look at this picture, because he's got this amazing, like, all this beveling and detailing going on in the steering wheel. It looks incredibly comfortable. Huge paddles. The car is rocking the ZF 8-speed auto, and it should be rear mounted. I'll find out and annotate right around here that it is. The vents could be better. I don't know, for some reason this reminds me of the Zenvo, and I don't like the Zenvo, but that's just me. This has like this almost granite looking wood veneer going on. It's fucking hot. And this kind of reminds me, this whole section kind of reminds me of a Bugatti Veyron, which isn't a bad thing. I love the interior of a Bugatti. Some stupid plaque, which isn't stupid, it's a nice plaque. Let's see what else. Oh, so here's the side intake, which is not for cooling anything, I don't think. As all I've heard is that it does this tunneling situation where it goes in the side vent here and then goes legitimately into the trunk. There's like a, you know, a tunnel of sorts into the trunk, and then it pops out on this vent here. The lip spoiler I mentioned earlier is right in front, but what I think is going on, and you know, if you have a different opinion, let me know, but the air coming out here acts as like a little bit of a wall coming up here. In other words, a little bit of a spoiler. So you're actually getting a bit of downforce with the air coming out from this section at a different angle from the air coming across the car. I could be wrong, and then, you know, the hypothetical situation though is that you get the speed going so fast that the air just gets, you know, blown away. The speed of the air coming up vertically from the trunk doesn't affect the air coming across the car at 130 or whatever, 150. So the solid lip spoiler pops on up. Let's see if I have any other cool photos. Oh, this is cool. Let me go forward one. So this is the side extractor situation going on right behind the fender. This looks like the driver's side, which I'm in America, so that's the left side of the car, because this looks like the fender. So air goes into the fender, well, somehow, you know, air gets in there, and it's turbulent, and it's, you know, causes a bit of lift. So what it does is it has a nice fat extractor above the wheel here. This is actually the passenger side now, or the right side of the vehicle, and it zooms out here. It's actually painted body color, which is so freaking sexy. It reduces a bunch of pressure from inside the wheel well, and that's always good. And it probably cuts down on noise a bit too. And here we go with the engine. So I'm going to zoom out again now, and now you can hear me talk a bit, or just see me talk. Boom. So I'm back. And let's talk about the engine real quick. So I'm stoked that Aston's making a V12. I love V12s. And a cool thing that this engine does, which I'm a huge, I really like the idea, is cylinder deactivation. So we have a brand new 5.2 liter twin turbo V12, obviously turbo on both banks. Not exactly sure how the exhaust ducting and plumbing works, like 6 to 3 to 1 or whatever it is. Not sure exactly what's going on there. Haven't researched it. But it's a hand-built engine, and it has all the modern, not all, I don't think it's direct injected. If someone knows that, let me know. Put it in the comments, but I don't know off the top of my head if it's direct injected. But it does have cylinder deactivation, variable valve timing, which the old engine did not, the 5.9 liter NA V12 that's been in all the cars since, 2002, 2003. So, amazing engine, and cylinder deactivation is not just like 2 or 4 cylinders, it's actually one bank of cylinders is removed, turning this motor into a 2.6 liter inline 6, which, as we all know, the two most inherently smooth motors, and my favorite type of motors is inline 6, but a V12 is the most smooth motor. It has the power pulses that even out, and of course the balanced crankshaft, so there's essentially zero vibration, which is amazing. And you know, you just have the amount of cylinders getting fuel and sparking, and cut down on, you know, your CO2, if that matters in your country, or your mileage increases. You use less fuel, obviously. So So a big thing I'm excited about, obviously there are the rumors that the next V8 Vantage, which will be based on the same architecture as this, which is a completely updated architecture. I don't have weight specifications on the car. I don't know if it increased or lost weight. I'd love to know and put it somewhere in the video here. But it's definitely gained power. It's 600 horsepower and a little over 500 pound-feet of torque, and I can only imagine just the most delectable torque curve of all time. Not of all time, but necessary, that's for sure. With a fantastic 8-speed automatic, with probably 100% lockup potential, meaning they're locked up like a manual transmission or a racing transmission, and you just get fantastic throttle response and all that jazz. But the future of Aston Martin means they need to lower corporate emissions and all that stuff for the European market and for the US market, of course. So I'm thinking there is a distinct possibility to make this engine viable as an option to build. I mean, it's not that easy to build a twin-turbo V12. Is that they're going to put half of this motor in the next Vantage. So they'll probably possibly have a base Aston Martin Vantage with a 2.6 liter inline six, which would be an amazing motor. If anyone knows the history of Aston Martin, had a lot of fantastic inline sixes back in the day. And it would make, plenty of power. You could easily get 350 plus horsepower out of it with a nice little torque curve, and especially in a lightweight car with a manual transmission. Great Porsche competitor, in other words. And then they'll probably have a twin turbo 4 liter from the AMG GT, from Daimler, from Mercedes. And I'm really excited. I love, especially low displacement inline sixes. It's like, oh yes, it's kind of like an RB26 again. But it would most likely be single turbo, but they could certainly do a 2.6 twin turbo, just a little monster. And it would sound great, and just, it'd be fantastic. So I'm excited for that possibility. I would love to see that motor before them, purchasing an engine from AMG. That'd be a great range already, An inline six for the Vantage, a V12 for the DB line, and then who knows what the Vanquish will get when it comes out by the end of the decade. So that's my video for the Aston Martin. I don't think I have anything else. Oh, the headlights, they're pretty cool. I'm not a huge fan of the DRLs. The DRLs like this. I'll make my opinion when I see it in person, but it does have LED projectors, so that's cool. Still a very sexy shape, and just a clean car, very clean car. I think that's about it, and that's the end of my... Let's see. Oh, yeah, let's just end on that. Okay, a little bit longer, who cares? Listen to me ramble, why not? Bye, guys.